Hey guys, how are you doing? So I actually tried to make this video yesterday on Floyd Bennett. I wanted to do it outside, but it was just too windy and it wasn't watchable. And I want to talk about my favorite EDC folders, my favorite folders that I love to carry, love to use. I used to have a lot of knives. I used to have a lot of different small, cheaper folders that I love, a lot of them, you know, a lot of them I loved, but I did sell them because it was just getting to the point where I had too many and I didn't carry them anyway, because there were certain folders, that most of them you see here, that I just loved carrying and loved using, and it's just getting more and more a little bit over time. And again, the older stuff, the stuff that don't get the more use, and it's most of the time it's just because of the, you know, at this point it really is just because of the cool factor, because you know, the cheaper good knife will perform just as well, sometimes even better, but it's that pleasure of, you know, having a nice expensive custom knife that you enjoy using. It works good, and it just gives you that pleasure of, you know, hey, I am using and I am enjoying this knife. It's not just sitting in the collection, and which, if I was a maker of this, and I would be proud about it, that my knife is being used, not just a piece of some collection, somebody's, you know, vault. So that's really the very simple reason why a lot of the cheaper stuff went away, and I just kept the more expensive stuff, and I love it and enjoy using it. Now, one of the latest acquisitions, and it always was one of my favorite knives, was the Mini Griptilian. This is the Doug Reader version. So we have S30V instead of the, you know, most of the time it's CPM 154 cm on the Griptilians and Mini Griptilians. There are a couple of sprint runs or like limited versions with the D2s, and I think there is also some with an M4. There was a lot of Griptilians. Now, I always like Reader's Griptilian because of the shape, blade shape, and the grind. You know, you have a little different blade shape and you have flat grind. And in this case actually very nice and lean, very thin edge, flat grind, so it's actually really good performer, really good cutter. So that's one of the newer ones. I traded it with my friend Bruce, and I love it. I love using it. It's excellent knife. Some people say that they don't like Griptilians because of this plastic. I can't even recall what the Benchmade calls it. I personally don't care. It's rigid. I never broke it. The knife fell, and knife being used often. Even though my older, I used to have that blue Mini Griptilian, and it's solid. You know, I never bothered me that it's just plastic. It's not G10 or something. I imagine if it was G10, the knife would be a lot heavier. So me personally, I'm happy that they went with this plastic. It works perfect for me, and I don't know, you know. I honestly don't understand why people would have an argument that it feels cheap. I mean, to me it doesn't. You know, the way the material feels doesn't really make a difference to me. You know, the main thing is how the knife works, how it cuts, and you know, how it looks, but not how it feels. So that's, you know, that's me. I love Griptilians. I think they're excellent knives. To me, Griptilians are with stuff like paramilitaries and you know, like Kershaw Ram. I like, a lot of people love Blur. I was never a Blur fan, but those knives for me are, you know, one of the best knives for the money you can buy when you're talking already some better quality but still affordable. So to me it's definitely Griptilian, paramilitary tool, and Kershaw Ram. To me, Ram is very similar knife category as the Griptilians and paramilitaries. So definitely one of my favorites. Excellent knife. One of the main reasons also why those three for me is also the locks. You know, axis lock, compression lock, and the hog lock. One reason why I love them so much, and why I think they're so, you know, not so much better, but better than a lot of other knives, is that these lock mechanisms, they eliminate the factor where the user gets the most, you know, the biggest risk of cutting themselves, because most cuts, believe it or not, is, you know, in our, like, us knife people, knife collectors, knife users, is when you open and close the knife, especially when you close it. A lot of cuts is when you close the knife on your fingers by accident, you know, not even knowing, just closing the knife, and that's the So let's say in the case of the frame lock or line lock, you have to put the finger, your thumb, into the inner way of closing knife, and look what happens. Now your finger is right there where the edge closes on a lot of knives. So by eliminating that with a different lock mechanism like an axis or compression or a hog lock, you know, your fingers are never in a way of closing blade, which eliminates the most common cut. You know, in reality that's what it is, and that's why I love them so much, because I find them very convenient to operate and work, and they are very reliable locks. So that's been a Griptilian for me. One of the favorites. Love it. It's, you know, for the people that love large knives, the large one is pretty, you know, substantial. It's not big, but it's larger than this. I personally love the smaller one. I had the larger one too. It's excellent knife, even smoother action, just because everything is a little larger, so you have more mass in the blade. So the opening action is even a little better on the large one, but love it. You know, reversible pocket clips, axis locks, ambidextrous, so even lefties love them. So a lot of good things about Griptilians and mini Griptilians. I think they're excellent knives, and a lot of different colors to pick from, and a lot of different blade shapes to pick from, which is, I think, great. So, and I don't want to make this too long, so let's talk about them one at a time. So that was Griptilian. Next one will be paramilitary.